Your sweet life, I found something. Take a look at that.
What?
Stay tuned for the next part of Another World. And now, the next part of Another World.
Sandy, don't get your hopes up. I mean, this just might be a piece off the last owner's slipcovers.
Yeah, listen, it could also be something from a rag doll's costume, right? Larry, we gotta start somewhere. If we can't prove that what Blaine was saying is true, do you know what's gonna happen? Sooner or later, she's gonna start to think that she's crazy, and then little by little, that's exactly what's gonna happen to her. Now, I'm not gonna let that happen, Larry. And if you doubt her, then maybe you ought to join the other side.
Look, I don't doubt my sister. You know, just let your guard down, Sandy. You know, we're both in this together.
Well, then stop trying to punch holes in her story.
Look, the only thing we know is that whatever happened in the shack leads right back to Claxton.
You know, you're right. So maybe we're looking in the wrong place. And maybe the right place is in Wyoming.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Right, that's right. I mean, if we can find a connection between your old hometown and Bay City, then we'd really have something, wouldn't we?
Right. Now, the obvious connection is Alma. But we know that's not right. So let's dig a little deeper. So Cecile gets in touch with a newspaper in Claxton. Says she's doing a little article in Bravo, wants to know about some small-town lifestyle. She can get all the pictures, all the interviews she wants. Totally innocent to everybody, except Cecile.
Well, Cecile has got a lot of charm and a lot more money. She could probably get enough people to tell her all she'd need. And I think that we have finally figured out how she did it.
So wait a minute, where are you going?
Well, I'm going to go tell Blaine that we might be taking a little trip to Wyoming. And I'm going to talk to Dr. Cole, see what she thinks of the idea.
Sandy, I'd go with you, but it's so close to Clarice's due date.
Hey, listen, man, don't worry about it. You take care of Clarice, and I'll take care of Blaine.
Okay.
You know, man, this is the first time in a long time that I've felt like I could really help. At least I can give her some hope.
It's just tea.
Yeah, I thought you wanted tea.
Yeah, I know, but I thought you put something stronger in it. Like arsenic.
Oh, Julia. Julia. Oh, Julia, darling. Jamie called me. I came just as soon as I could. Now, lean against me, darling. Just cry. Just cry.
I don't want to cry, Grandma. I don't want to be held like a baby. I just want...
Julia, please. Oh, Jamie.
I think she wants to be left alone, Liz.
You know, when Milo left, and I didn't think I could ever face anybody again. Julia made everything so much better. I wanted to try and do the same for her.
Ah. Oh. Anybody seen Julia?
Yeah, we've all seen her, Vic. You know, maybe you should see her. See what a swell job you did with her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A girl just ran out of here heartbroken.
Before you all stone me to death, may I say something? I came back here because I was worried about her.
Oh, yeah, you were so worried about her. That's why you told her to get lost, right?
I told her to stay here and not go out to L.A. and end up like every other teeny bopper loser on Sunset Boulevard.
When have you ever been concerned for any of your conquests?
Since I met Julia. That girl can really be something. She just needs a little time. She doesn't need me.
Why don't you tell her that?
Well, I tried. When it comes to being honest with women, don't expect miracles, okay? Besides, it might mean a lot more if it came from somebody she trusted, like you, James. Excuse me. Catch a plane. Haven't even packed.
Who would have thought it? Vic Strang. Just an old marshmallow.
There's nothing for me to do around here anymore. This house. It seems so empty without the actors, the crew, all the other... If Julie comes back here instead of going home, would you ask her to call me there, please?
I will.
I'll be waiting.
Bye.
I'm gonna miss this place, too.
Is that all you're gonna miss?
It depends on you, doesn't it?
I guess it does. Guess what?
Honey, I'm really not in the mood for
Guess what is made out of cloth and looks like this?
Where did you get that?
Back at the shack. Does it mean anything to you?
Does it mean anything to me? Yes, it does. This is from the costume. It's from the ragdoll costume. I know it. Oh, no,
right.
thank you,
Hey,
thank
hey,
you,
hey,
thank
how about
you.
a little of that for me? I mean, I found that.
Oh, darling, I love you. Oh, thank you. This was just when I was ready to give up, too.
No, honey. No, we are just getting started.
Well, who's wearing this? Who wore this horrible thing?
I don't know, but I think we should do what your brother suggests. Forget about suspects and concentrate on the evidence.
Yeah, honey, I have been. You know those voices I heard, my father's voices when I was locked in the closet?
Yeah.
All those horrible things he was saying to me? No one ever heard him say those things. Not even Larry.
Babe, you must have told somebody about it.
No. Just my diary.
Your diary?
Yeah. I used to keep lots of diaries when I was a little kid. From the time I was 9 till the time I left. But I burned them all the day I left for Bay City.
Babe, maybe you didn't burn all your diaries. Maybe one of those diaries was left at the farmhouse until somebody found it.
Oh, honey, that has to be it, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, it's something that we have to check out, Blaine, and to do that, that means we're gonna have to go back to Wyoming. Now, I'm gonna check with Dr. Cole and see if she thinks it's a good idea for you to travel.
No. I don't think I could stand to go back there.
Blaine, if you can't go, I'll go alone. But finally, we've turned things around. Now we're the hunters.
Will you come visit me in L.A.? I mean, if they make a movie out of your next book.
Yeah, I will. I'll visit you.
I will never forgive you if you don't win a Nobel Prize. Jamie?
I know. I know. You too. Bye.
Bye.
Mayor Bancroft, it was very kind of you to see me.
Now, first of all, the name is Brian. And Cass Winthrop's sister is always welcome in this office. And after the glowing words that Cass said about you, I've been very anxious to meet you.
Glowing words from my brother?
Does that sound strange?
Well, we haven't always seen eye to eye.
Oh, well, when it comes to your legal talents, you have no greater champion. Please, sit down.
Well, thank you.
And from your letters of recommendation, my only question is, what has our little town to offer such a high-powered attorney?
Oh. Well, let's say the high-powered world of Wall Street bored me to tears.
Really? But what doesn't bore you?
People? People with little money and big problems.
Well, you forgive me for saying so, but that does sound strange coming from a Winthrop who was an editor of the Harvard Law Review. I only wish I had something to offer you in the city administration.
I was hoping you would.
Well, I'm not going to let you leave us now that we have you here. I have an idea. An old friend of mine, John Randolph, he died a few years ago. He had the kind of practice you're talking about, but it was never properly picked up. Now, if you're interested, I'll do everything I can to help you get established.
Oh, well, I couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, now, you'll need an office, of course, and some furniture, and I'll talk to some people.
Whoa, you get carried away even faster than I do.
But we'll talk about it at dinner tonight. Somehow you landed here and Bay City needs you. And it's my job to keep you here.
Well, I think it's splendid that Stacy plans on settling down here.
Yep, she's come to town determined to be her own woman, and she has her own ideas about things.
Sounds like the Stacy I used to know. Something tells me you're not terribly thrilled with the idea of her arrival.
Well, let's just say that Stacy and I got along best when we captained opposite sides of the family 4th of July tug-of-war contests.
Cass, she's grown up. Maybe she's looking for someone else to play tug-of-war with. Yo.
Mac,
Oh, Liz, hello.
Elaine, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I need to talk to Mac.
Sorry, he's out all day, sales meeting.
No, he can't. I have to see him today, please. It's very important.
What is it, Liz? What's wrong?
Well, you're a fine one to talk. Because of you, my granddaughter is absolutely dissolved in tears, and everybody else's life has just fallen to pieces.
I beg your pardon.
Liz, I'm sorry you're so upset. Just calm down a
Cass
bit.
has ruined the distribution of View of the Bay. Therefore, Julia can't get to Hollywood with Vic Strang. Not that I mind that. I really didn't want her to go, but of course she wants to go very much, and I can't stand to see her disappointed or hurt. She
Liz,
just absolutely...
Liz, I'm really very sorry to hear that Julia's so upset. But my first obligation was to Mac and to his investment. Now, you can't blame me for looking out for Mac, can you?
For heaven's sake, no, of course not. I mean, I care about Mac. Mac has always been very good to me.
And he always will be.
Elena, do you know that Mac said he'd keep my job open for me. I really do need a job.
Liz.
Well, I think a woman with your experience deserves an even more responsible position, Liz.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see, Mac put Cass in charge of the Corey administration, so if he says it's so, it's as good as done.
Oh, my goodness, after all the terrible, horrible things I just
Oh,
said.
please, don't give it another thought.
Oh, he's marvelous.
Has anybody seen my father?
You know, I'm starting to learn Mac's secrets. Like, never be in the office on days when everyone needs you.
Cass, look, something really important has come up. I need an immediate leave of absence.
Now, first, let's get down to particulars. Sandy, what schedule are you working on? What story do you have outstanding? And what's Bravo's closing date on this issue? Well, come on, people. We do want to publish a magazine, don't we?
Welcome back, Liz.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of Another World.
Please, come in. Louis, I want to apologize for dropping by on such short notice, but I have a request to make of you.
That's quite all right. Anything I can do. That will be all, Vincent. Thank you. Well, what can I do for you? Name it and it is yours, Brian.
Elena spoke to me today.
Mm-hmm. And what is on Elena's mind today?
A great deal, I'm afraid. It's about your daughter. Elena's told me everything. Elena's pleading to you through me not to tell Cecile the truth. Elena wants you to promise her that you won't tell Cecile that you're her father.
Well, once I do some tests on this, we'll know where it came from.
We already know where it came from. We got to find out who it came from.
Oh, well, you're in a fighting mood today, aren't
Oh,
you?
I sure am. I mean, even if it means I have to go back to Claxton and face all my ghosts, I'm going to fight until I find out what's been happening to me.
Yep, there she is again.
Who?
Oh, a tough little cookie I knew once named Blaine Ewing.
Oh, yeah? Would that be the same Blaine Ewing who used to crawl up the crabapple trees in the backyard and throw apples at you and you used to call her names?
Don't remind me. I think I still have the bruises.
Say, brother, can I ask you something?
If it has to do with crab apples and you hit me on the head, you can forget it.
No, it doesn't. Sit down. remember when I was a little kid? Pa used to lock me in the closet. Say all those terrible things to me. Why didn't you ever try to stop him?
I wondered when you'd ask me that. I tried to stop him. Every time I did, he pulled me aside and said, you just added another 12 hours to her time in the closet. So the only way I could hope to get you out sooner was to do what he said.
Why didn't you ever tell me that?
I never could tell you because I couldn't bear your hating me for it.
Hating you? I could never hate you. Oh, I'm so glad you told me. I'm so glad to know what a wonderful brother I have.
You mean me?
Of course I mean you. And you watch me, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be a little sister you can be proud of.
Baby, I am already proud of you.
Yes,
I am. Yes, I am.
This part of Another World was brought to you by Gleam, the toothpaste made for adults. It fights cavities and adult bad breath. Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.